So you want to know who the most annoying fan base in the AFC East is? Well, you've come to the right place because I am going to reveal the answer to that question in this video. I am Rich Joe at ICE Pro Football Demon, and if you've been here before, you know how this works, and if you haven't, pull up a seat and I'll tell you how it's going to go. I am going to eliminate one AFC East fan base at a time and tell you why that fan base is being eliminated until we get to the one which I will crown the most annoying. And yes, as some of you already know, I am a Jets fan. But I want to make one thing very clear. My New York Jets fandom does not take the New York Jets fan base out of contention here. Now, I will be the first to admit we can be a handful. Jets fans can be abusive. Jets fans can be abrasive. Jets fans can be ridiculous. Jets fans can be delusional. And yes, Jets fans can be annoying. Now, with that being said, the New York Jets fan base is not the most annoying fan base in the AFC East. You didn't really think I was going to pull a Shawn Michaels and kick my fellow New York Jets fans through the window of the flower shop, did you? I know it's the barber shop. I'm just messing with some of you PFD OGs out there who once heard me butcher that Shawn Michaels reference in a previous video. And I want you all to know there is no one on this planet that considers that faux pas to be as unforgivable as I did. And a heartfelt shout out to the late, great Adrian Adonis. And a shout out to Roddy Piper too, because man, I miss that guy. Since I'm shouting guys out, I think I have to shout out Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig, who are two of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And if I don't stop this, this is going to very quickly turn into a wrestling tribute video. So on we go. Now look, Jets fans are not without their flaws, and I do mean everything I said about this fan base a moment ago. But if you give it some thought, you could apply all of those traits to virtually any fan base in the NFL. For example, as a Jets fan, I do not find Los Angeles Rams fans to be annoying, but a Seattle Seahawks fan would probably beg to differ. And speaking for Jets fans, and please don't say don't speak for me if you're a Jets fan, because I will screenshot that comment and post it on Twitter and make fun of you in front of everyone that follows me on Twitter, all 130 people. That was a subtle hint that you should follow me on Twitter if you already don't. And seriously, your decision to follow me on Twitter is entirely up to you. I would just say follow your heart. Now, I will get back to Jets fans, but before I do, Lions fans and Browns fans, if you want to gather around the fire, what I'm about to say also applies to you guys. And Cincinnati fans, there was a time in the not-too-distant past when I would have offered you a spot around this fire, but since Joe Burrow came to town, you are no longer one of us, so you guys can go f*** yourselves. As a New York Jets fan, I have experienced an unfathomable amount of pain. As a Lions fan and Browns fan, you can probably identify with that. I only joke around as much as I do to mask that pain, but deep down inside, I am hurting. See, unlike some of you, I wasn't around when Joe Namath made that deal with the devil in the late 1960s to win a Super Bowl. I did not get to experience any of that joy. And even though it is cool to be a fan of a team that has won at least one Super Bowl, hi Bills fans, I don't get an emotional charge out of it because I wasn't here to experience it. And while we're on the topic, I'm going to wander down the conspiracy theory road a little bit here, and you're going to come with me and say I am fully convinced Joe Namath did make that deal with the devil after he made the guarantee, and here's why. Now, you can call me superstitious if you want, but something has been gnawing at me ever since Aaron Rodgers officially became a New York Jet. If I have learned anything from reading fiction, comic books, and watching movies and TV shows, it is this. The devil's contracts typically have an escape clause. And for those of you who may not know what an escape clause is, it is a set of provisions that are included in certain contracts that allow the contract to be terminated without repercussion. In other words, he gets someone to sign a deal by letting them know there is a way out of that deal. But that way out is never easy. And in most cases, it's downright impossible. Something needs to happen in order for that contract to be broken. Something that is so unlikely to happen that the devil is fully confident, including this escape clause in the contract. In the case of the Joe Namath contract, I believe I know what this clause is. And I believe Joe Namath tried his best to release us from this plague that he unleashed upon this franchise all those years ago. See, Joe Namath offered number 12 to Aaron Rodgers, and it would make sense that he offered number 12 to Aaron Rodgers because that's the number Aaron wore in Green Bay. Now, keeping that in mind, here's what I believe is stated in the escape clause of the Namath contract. This contract shall remain intact until another quarterback who is a lock to enter the NFL Hall of Fame and has won at least one Super Bowl with another team signs with the New York Jets and dons the same formerly retired number 12 that Joe Namath wore in Super Bowl III. Furthermore, it is also stated that should Joe Namath reveal this to anyone, this clause immediately becomes null and void in the New York Jets franchise or any franchise they become should the team decide to move or change its name would indeed face an eternity without another Super Bowl victory. See, Joe Namath tried to help us, folks, by offering Aaron Rodgers number 12. And Aaron Rodgers said no. And the worst part is I think Joe Douglas may have been in on this because why would he trade Elijah Moore for so little? Basically traded a promising 23-year-old former high second-round pick for what is the equivalent of a mid-fourth-round pick. Was it to free up number 8, Joe? The same number 8 Aaron Rodgers happened to wear in college? Was it, Joe? Tell me, Joe. Now you could say Aaron Rodgers would have just purchased the number 8 from Elijah Moore if he really wanted it. But are we really sure about that? Are we so sure Elijah Moore would have been so keen to give up his number? Especially since Joe Namath was saying, hey, Aaron, why don't you just wear number 12? God, I hope I'm not right about this. Anyway, Jets fans, you're off the hook from the annoying fan base list, not the goddamn Namath contract. Unless, of course, Aaron Rodgers has a change of heart and decides to wear number 12. But you know what? Let's just move on. The next fan base I'm removing is the New England Patriots. Yeah, I know. I'm just as surprised as you are. Patriots fans, as painful as it's been as a Jets fan to see the man who was earmarked to be our head coach go on and draft a quarterback who in turn would go on to become the greatest NFL player of all time and create a 20-year dynasty, I don't have hatred in my heart for you guys. I'm going to say I don't have hatred in my heart for anyone, really, but Bill Belichick, man, you're like right there. This man made an agreement with Bill Parcells that he would be the next Jets head coach when Parcells stepped down, and he lied. The man's a liar. And the worst part is he never had any intention of being the New York Jets head coach, and he knew it. And he said nothing. And you want to know how I know that? Because the man handed in his resignation at his introductory press conference on a cocktail napkin that said, I resign as head coach of the New York Jets. That is a calculated move. And that is a move designed to humiliate an owner and an entire fan base. And he did it on a cocktail napkin. How unprofessional is that? And the man didn't even have the respect to fully spell out the words head coach or New York Jets. No, he wrote, I resign as HC of the New York Jets. As if even the English language, a language that is 1,400 years old approximately, was beneath him. You know what, Josh? I don't think I can do this right now. Can we just turn the camera off maybe and take like a 5-minute break?
Well, would you like a glass of water or something?
I said turn the camera off, Josh! Sorry about that.
That's okay. I completely understand.
I wasn't talking to you, Josh. I was talking to them. See, this is the goddamn problem. Hi. We're back. Anyway, Patriots fans, for a fan base that has experienced as much winning as you guys have, I would expect you to be way more arrogant than you actually are. It's actually pretty annoying because you'll never know how badly I wanted to crown the New England Patriots fan base as the most annoying in the AFC East, but I have to follow my heart, and Patriots fans, you're off the hook. Now, before I get to the next fan base, please Hulk smash the like button if you're enjoying this video, and let me know in the comment section below which fan base you think is the most annoying in the AFC East. I read every comment, and I reply to as many as I can, and I will always do that because your time is your most valuable asset, and the fact that you spend even a fraction of it on me is something I can never thank you enough for. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. That would be awesome. Now, the next fan base I am removing from this list is the Miami Dolphins. This one was hard for me too, and not just because the Dolphins are a rival of the New York Jets, but because we also share coaching lineage in the way of Adam Gase. And I'm not going to say his name too many times because saying it makes me feel sick and hate my tongue.
Do you want me to turn the camera off again?
Would you just please, Josh? Anyone out there remember this tweet by Colin Cowherd, by the way? Adam Gase plus Greg Williams plus Sam Darnold. Anyone know where I can pre-order my 2020 AFC Championship tickets at MetLife Stadium? Now, this is not to call Colin Cowherd out because we all have bad takes. But man, did I want that tweet to become a reality. I have a few friends that are Dolphins fans, and they tried to warn me about Adam Gase when the Jets hired him, and I simply did not listen. And I blame Peyton Manning. In case you don't know, he's the one that called Jets owner Woody Johnson and vouched for Adam Gase. And if we've learned anything from the movie Donnie Brasco, it is you should not vouch for anyone, because if things go south, you are the one that's gonna get whacked. And if you don't believe me, go to Michael Francesi or Sammy the Bull Gravano's channels and ask them, because they would know. Unfortunately for Peyton Manning, the NFL is not the mob. By the way, in the Donnie Brasco movie, they suggested it was Lefty Ruggiero who was going to get whacked, but in reality, it was actually Sonny Black who got whacked. And Sonny Black was also the one who said the famous line, "Tell Donnie I'm glad it was him," but I digress. Dolphins fans, you have never really given me any problems, and the Dolphins fans I know are actually really good people. Seriously, when I'm around them, I feel like I'm just not trying hard enough to be decent. Actually, now that I think about it, the fact that they're so nice is annoying in and of itself and might actually qualify them for being the most annoying fan base. I mean, they go around killing you with kindness. It's annoying and brilliant. Someone's bound to jump in the comment section and say, I know a Dolphins fan that is really annoying, but again, you can say that about any fan base. The only real sense I could make of why they're not hostile is because most of them are from southern to central Florida. My theory is it probably has something to do with the fact that they can leave the stadium after a tough loss in December and an hour later be drinking a margarita on Miami Beach in 80-degree weather. It's gotta be tough to stay mad in a situation like that. Dolphins fans, it actually seems like you guys do a lot more infighting than anything else. I mean, you have the Tua truthers on one side and the we should have drafted Justin Herbert loyalists on the other. and you guys go at each other pretty hard. Anyway, I picked the Dolphins to win 7 games this season, and it doesn't have anything to do with a lack of faith in Tua as a quarterback. I actually think the Drew Brees comparisons are fair. I just don't have confidence that he will be able to make it through a full season without injury, and I hope I'm wrong about that. Now, Mike White is a capable backup. Now, I said it all last season. He was the best quarterback on the Jets roster, and had he started all 17 games, I'm convinced that team would have made the playoffs. But he's another guy who the injury bug just feeds off of like a relentless parasite. But trust me on this, I was fully invested in the Mike F. and White experiment, and it always ended in heartbreak because the guy just could not stay healthy. Anyway, Dolphins fans, I wish I had more negative things to say about you. Believe me, but you are not the most annoying fan base in the AFC East. You're welcome. Buffalo Bills fans, welcome in. Have a seat. We have a lot to talk about. Now, despite what you may think, this decision, again, was not easy for me. There was a time in my life when I felt horrible for you guys, and I would never have imagined crowning you the most annoying fan base in the AFC East. But those days are over. Now, I've experienced enough soul-sucking grief as a New York Jets fan to cover about 7 or 8 lifetimes, but I cannot imagine having to sit and watch my team lose 4 Super Bowls in a row. I mean, my God. What did you guys do to deserve that? See, Buffalo fans, there was a time when you were the tragic character in the story we are all living. And it would appear that the trauma you experienced has inevitably driven you mad. You see, when you guys discovered that Josh Allen was going to become a thing, you became insufferable. You guys even went so far as to believe a lie which spread throughout the community of Bills fans like the common cold. And that lie was Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes. Cincinnati Bengals fans, I'm talking to you guys a lot today. You guys started to believe a similar lie, and some of you are still experiencing that very same lie. That Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes. And everyone just needs to stop. Everyone needs to stop right now. No one is better than Patrick Mahomes. Eagles fans, I'm looking at you because I feel like that's going to be the next thing that comes out of your mouth. No, Jalen Hurts is great. Not better than Patrick Mahomes. Let's stop it now, can we, please? Thank you. And to the teams with quarterbacks on the horizon of maybe being in that conversation, Jacksonville Jaguars fans, Los Angeles Chargers fans, I'm looking at you. Don't even think about it. Now, don't get it twisted. I am not knocking any of those quarterbacks. They are all phenomenal, and any fan base would be lucky to have them, except the New York Jets who have Aaron Rodgers. I love you, Aaron. And I guess except the Kansas City Chiefs, of course, since they have Patrick Mahomes, and that's what this whole thing's all about. But back to Bills fans. Now, let's get something straight, and let's be honest. If one fan base in this division has the right to be arrogant, it is Patriots fans, and it's because of their resume. And speaking of resumes, as I mentioned before, the Bills are the only team in this division who has not won a Super Bowl. Yet you guys continue to walk around like you are guaranteed something simply because Josh Allen is your quarterback, and you're not. You're guaranteed nothing. I mean, some of you act like you've been on this Super Bowl winning streak just because you landed a stud quarterback. Yes, he is a stud. Now look, as I said in my last video, yes, I'm crowning you the most annoying fan base in the AFC East, but that shouldn't necessarily be considered a bad thing. So listen to me very carefully. I want you guys to embrace this title and keep being you, because oftentimes the villain is the best character in the story, especially when it comes to comic books. Now, speaking of comic books, when I did this with the NFC East, I crowned the Cowboys the most annoying fan base. And Bills fans, you guys remember the Cowboys, right? They beat you senseless in 2 Super Bowls. Anyway, I compared them to a top-tier comic book villain, and I chose Lex Luthor. Now, I'm going to do the same thing with you guys, and I'm going to stay in the DC universe, and I'm also going to choose another nemesis of Superman. So, Buffalo Bills fans, if I could compare you to a superhero villain, that villain would be Bizarro. And the reason for that is because you have a quarterback that you think is Superman, but he's not. Now, technically, Bizarro is not a villain because he doesn't do things with bad intentions, not in the comic book anyway. But he does make life difficult for Superman at times because of the things he does. In short, he's annoying to Superman, just like you guys are annoying to the rest of us who support AFC East teams. So Buffalo Bills fans, congratulations. You are the most annoying fan base in the AFC East. That'll do it for this video, guys. Stay tuned for outtakes, and remember, football is supposed to be fun. Life is so much more enjoyable when we can bust each other's chops and not take everything so seriously. I'm Rich Jodice, the Pro Football Demon, and I don't have a tagline, so I'm just going to say goodbye for now. I am Rich Jodice, the Pro Football Demon, and if you've been here before, you know how this works, and if you haven't, pull up a seat and I will tell you something. I'll tell you something if you pull up a seat. So you want to know who the most annoying fan base in the AFC East is? Well, I'm glad you came here because I'm happy you're here. I'm very happy you're here. So you want to know who the most annoying fan base in the AFC East is? Well, you've come to the right place because I'm going to answer the question that you have asked this time. This time I'm going to answer it. Wow. Did you hear that? That's crazy. I can't do this. To top it all off, my chair keeps squeaking. Flower shop window, did you? Oh, we're recording. That's nice. Anyway, Patriots fans, I'll say this about you guys. For a fan base that has won as much as you have, I would expect you... Jesus Christ. You see the mic there? Jesus Christ. Josh.